Hi, it's Owen for the Mind Body Project. Welcome back. Thanks for following me. This is a different type of video, this one. It's going to be a bit longer. I just want to give you guys a bit of training, a bit of help. And this goes back to something that I said. I made a video regarding, it's all to do with empowerment. Is depression or is mental health, is it your choice? And I said, it needs to be your choice. It needs to be your choice. And I was looking at some comments and things with the depression, some of the groups, and someone said the worst thing that someone ever said to me was that this is my choice. And really and truly, if you think that, then I can predict that that person is going to struggle for quite a few more years. And so what I decided to do was I'm going to do another video to talk about empowerment, because and explain it in a different way. I'm going to explain it in a lot of detail this time, and I'm going to show you that this needs to be in your control. It is in your control, because if you don't think that, then you're going to have issues, and I don't really want people to have issues. And as I said, it's the mindset is 80% of what I do. When I have a new client, it's all to do with mindset, because I need to get you on board that it's up to you. It's down to you. This change can happen. Nobody can tell you what you can't do, which is, I've heard somebody say, yeah, my doctor told me that I'm never going to change. They're not qualified enough to tell you that. They don't know what's going to happen in 5 years. They don't know what's going to be invented in 10 years. This stuff is already on the earth. Yeah, so it's ready here. People, 500 years ago, you can't build a plane. And today, what do you know? We're all flying around the countries. And as I said, how would they know that? All the materials were still here. We just needed to work out a way of doing it. Yeah, there's no way you're going to the moon. Oh, all of a sudden, we went to the moon. So no one is qualified to say that you can't do something. Potentially, you could do really great things. I don't care what position you're in at the moment. Potentially everyone can, when you, one, believe that you can, and two, start taking actions and start really using all of your strengths to actually go out there and do the things that you really want to do. So you can do this, but the first thing is your mindset. And I'm going to show you a few things here, because this is, alright, so depression is not a choice, it's an illness. Now I've got a little video clip of me when I was a bit angrier. I'm writing a few things about this, so I'm going to add this into this video, so you're going to see that in a second. But before I say that, look, everything, you got to understand, the drug companies want everything to be an illness. Everything needs to be an illness now. Yeah, you've got so depression, illness, because they can give you a pill for it. Yeah, anxiety, illness. Phobia, illness. Obesity, so overweight, illness. A child saying no to their parents, illness now. Oppositional defiance syndrome. Child that can't sit still in the class, because children are not designed to sit still in the class for too long, especially with the sugary foods that they're having. If they don't want to concentrate, or they want to do things rather than sit there and listen to things and watch things, illness, ADHD. So people, you got to understand that that's the intention. They want people, it's a good business model, and the governments are all on board. But if you don't fit into this normal, or what they call pathological normal, then you need a pill. Yeah, and so everything's labelled as an illness. But let's break down what that means. So the thing is, I would say is, okay, if it's an illness, what are you doing to keep yourself ill? Yeah, these chronic conditions, what are you doing to keep yourself ill? Because you have to be doing a behaviour to get there. You have to be. Nothing just happens, and this is something that probably never explained to you, And so if this is true, depression is not a choice, it's an illness, then something magical force or some force from outside of you, which you have no control over, has made you ill. Now this is easy to, it's a good way out, because that means, hey, it's not my fault, so therefore I can justify the results I'm getting at the moment. So that's a way out. You can do that. And the other thing as well I want to say is that if you have, because people have things happen in life, things happen to people in life, things will happen to you, yeah, things happen to me. Let's do this then. Maybe it's not your choice, that the position you're in right now, or when it happened, but you are in control of your response always. So bad stuff happens, who's in control of the response? You are. You have to be. Or otherwise, if you're not, and this magical force just makes you ill, and you accept that, and you accept these doctors saying you're not going to change, then guess what? You get to suffer for the rest of your life, taking pills with side effects. Is that something that you want? Some people don't care now, because like apathy and just not feeling good enough, and suffering so much that they can't really see a way out. But the way out is, first of all, is your mindset, and not believing this load of crap. That's basically what it is. If you don't believe that, if you believe this is not your choice and this illness, then you get to suffer for the rest of your life. Yeah, every single person, right? I worked with people like 7 clients a day for 5 years. Yeah, and the only way that they will be able to come around this or get over this is because the first thing I did was made it their choice. I could not have done it any other way. You have to have it as your choice, because then you can do something. If you just think in your head, if I'm responsible for where I am now, then I'm responsible, and I had the power to get out of it. Because all I have to do then is stop doing certain things and start doing certain other things, which is a good thing. That's proper empowerment. When someone says to you, you can't change, or you're always going to be like this, do you think that's empowerment or disempowerment? Yeah, they don't know what's going on inside you. They can't predict the future. They don't know all the elements and all the secrets of the earth and the universe to tell you that you can't change. Yeah, as I said on plenty of my videos, if there's an up, there's a down. If there's a left, there's a right. If there's a front, there's a back. If there's a problem, there is a solution. There has to be, by the laws of nature. So you can either, the laws of nature are wrong and your doctor's right, or the laws of nature are right and your doctor's wrong. So which is it? You decide. Yeah? Just because they don't know how to do something, it doesn't mean it can't happen for you. Just find yourself someone who can do it. So that is what I'm going to show you. But I'm going to demonstrate now. I'm going to show you why it's a choice. So there's something that I want to speak to you about, because it's about a month ago I put a video up saying about was it depression? Is mental illness is not a choice? And I said, well, it sort of is, if you think about it. And then I was looking at some comments from this depression site, because I keep in touch to see what people are saying, see what they're going through. And someone said that one of the questions was, what's the worst thing that someone has said to you about about having depression? And they said that it's a choice. And I said, wow, depression is a choice, is the worst thing that someone has said to you. So, okay, let's go through this today, because I want to talk about this today, this specific thing, because it's been mentioned, and again, it's not registering. I don't think people are getting it. And the other thing is as well, it depends what you're being told. Yeah, because you don't want it to be your fault. Yeah, it's better if it's someone else's because it makes you feel a bit better, doesn't it? But that at the same time is going to disempower you. It's going to put all of the choices, all of the things, all the decisions, all the power outside of you. And the problem is if the decision, if it's not your decision, if it's not your choice to be where you are right now, then it's not your choice to get out of it either. And that's what you're missing. You're not getting that. Because if you give that choice outside of you, then you can't take it back. Yeah, you have to understand that, listen, if it's not your choice to be there in that state right now, it doesn't matter if it's, let me try and use another word to soften this. Your responsibility. Let's say your responsibility being there right now. Are you responsible for where you are right now, feeling how you are? Because remember, the past is over, so whatever's happened in the past is done. It's gone. But right now, from this second right now, is it your responsibility to change, or is it your choice to be where you are now, or is it not your choice? And that's the question you have to ask. So what I decided to do is just look at what people, because depression is a thing that means many things to many people. So let's break it down a little bit and actually go through, let's chunk it down and see what we're in control of here. So what I've did is I've written some things down that people say they're not in control of. Yeah, not in control of. Okay, so let's have a look. So beliefs. Are you in control of your beliefs? Yeah, you are. Yep. Now you can believe that you're not in control, and if you believe that, then you're not. But you can also believe that, hang on a minute, I am in control, and then you are. That's how beliefs are either going to limit you or they're going to empower you. My intention here is to empower you and to tell you to take your choices back. Even if someone says to you, listen, it's not your fault, it's just something that magically happens to you, so that means you're depressed all of a sudden. Yeah. The quickest way out of it is to take your choices back, to make it yours. So you've got to believe that it's your choice to actually take this back. It's your choice to be that where you are now. That means, hey, I don't want to be here right now. Let me get out of it. What's the quickest way to get out of it? That's what you'd essentially do. So beliefs, you're in control of your beliefs. Yeah, you can decide if depression is going to take years and years and years to go, or you can decide if it's going to take a day. Essentially, you can. Yeah, it's up to you. Why not? Empower yourself with the beliefs. So physical, right? So depression, physical. If you're not doing any physical activity, yeah, for me that causes depression. Yeah, if you're not doing any aerobic activity for about 30 minutes, whether it be walking somewhere, if you're not doing that a day, then for me, and according to Deepak Chopra, lack of awareness of patterns plus lack of physical activity equals depression, according to Deepak Chopra. Yeah, so physical activity. Is it your choice to do any physical activity or not? Can you just get up now? Can you move your arm? Because this is physical activity, doing that. Yeah, walking. You don't have to go to a gym, but walking around and doing some things. Doing whatever you want to do. Something that's going to get you slightly breathing harder so you can still talk for a minimum of 30 minutes per day. Is that your choice? It's a choice to do it. Nutrition. So, is it your choice what you eat? Now, I know with depression, here's what happens. You get into a spiral and you start eating foods that you think make you feel good. When really, they make you feel good for about, 10 seconds, and then they make you feel bad. So, is that a choice or not? And is it a choice to eat foods, or forget the word food, nutrition? Do you give your body the right nutrition? Is that a choice of yours or not? It's a choice, isn't it? Yeah, you choose what you're going to eat. Yeah, I'm sure you do. And that's going to affect whether you have depression as well. Food's a massive thing at the minute. Because if you're eating foods that cause inflammation, then you're going to feel unwell or dis-ease. Yeah, it's a massive thing at the minute. And the other thing I'm going to add, well, we'll come on to that in a minute, but nutrition is your choice. Okay? Right, water intake, or I say alkaline fluids intake, is that your choice? Yeah, that's your choice, because if you're having lots of caffeine during the day, yeah, then, well, some people have 20 cups of caffeine, tea or coffee a day. Really? You expect nothing to be going wrong with you after that? Is that a choice? Yeah, it's a choice. It's going to affect you. Yeah, so that's going to affect you as well. Internal dialogue. So this is voices. Yeah, voices coming in. Yeah, that side. There may be voices saying something really bad. I hate myself. I'm awful. I'm terrible. Everybody hates me. Why do I do this? All that type of thing. Is that a choice or not? That's a choice. Now, here's the thing, because we're going to talk about personal development, is at this moment in time, you don't realise you have a choice on that. If you're constantly doing it because it's automatic. But you have a choice to change it if you wanted to. Yeah, that's another choice. Yeah. The other thing as well, I'm going to tell you right now, that those voices, why don't you change them to Mickey Mouse voice, so it sounds like that? Why don't you change it to the funniest voice ever? Why don't you move the voice away? Why don't you turn down the volume? Why don't you push it away over there so you can't hear it? Yep. So you can change that voice. You're in control. You can control that choice. So there's a difference between having a choice and exercising the choice. Because most people don't realise they have a choice, but you do. And that's the difference here. Internal images. So internal, so video, you might be watching something, have a picture of something bad happening, or a bad picture. Is that a choice? So you might be focusing on a picture. Is that a choice? Yeah, it's a choice. The picture you're focusing on, or the video image, or the things that are terrible things that are happening, is still a choice. Again, this is the difference between having a choice and exercising the choice. Most people don't realise they have a choice here, whether to look at a different picture or not. Yeah, but it is a choice. So you can actually do this. Yeah, you just need to know how to do this, which is still a choice. You just got to choose to learn how to do it. Yeah, you can move pictures in the distance, whoosh, in the distance, turn that colour picture into black and white. Yeah, move it away, flash it black and white, flash it black and white, move it away in the distance, make it defocused, make it dark. Yeah, make it this big, put it over there, see, out of your eye line so you can't see it. Yeah, it's the choice. You can choose to do that once you know how to. Working in a job I hate. Is that a choice? It's a choice. Yeah? It is a choice. It is a choice that you're there. I mean, every day you wake up, you choose to go there. Yeah, now, there may be some consequences, may need to work out a way how to leave or go somewhere else, and you may need to actually think of a future that you want to have, but it's still your choice that you're going there. Yeah, take it back and have it as your choice. People say to me, I have to go to work, I don't have a choice. Well, you do have a choice, but maybe the consequences of you leaving are not going to be very good because you need to pay bills. But it's still a choice. You just need to develop some new choices. It's a choice. Negative automatic thoughts. Is that a choice? It's a choice. Yeah, it's basically the pictures. So it's a choice. Again, you need to know how to break that pattern so it doesn't automate. But it's a choice. You just have to learn how to do it. Difference between a choice and exercising a choice. So you have a choice, but you're not exercising your choice because maybe you're not aware. As Deepak Chopra said, lack of awareness patterns. If you don't know about it, how can you choose? But it is a choice. Yeah. Chemical imbalance. So this is one thing that gets thrown at me all the time. Chemical imbalance. And let me just say something on chemical imbalance. It's like you're always in imbalance. Someone, I've seen in one of these groups, someone showed a picture of the brain. So they showed a bipolar brain and a normal brain, and showing the areas where it's working. That's a still image. You don't stay like that. Your brain is constantly changing. It's always in imbalance. So it's always in balance anyway. But let's just say though, all right. So let's say there is a chemical imbalance. Is that a choice to have that or not? It's a choice. So how do you change your body chemically? How do you change those negative chemicals, well, that you're creating, because it's your choice? How do you change it so you actually get chemicals that you want in your body to make you feel really good and elated? In fact, all of those up there. Change your mindset, change your beliefs, change your physical activity, change your nutrition, change your water intake, change your internal dialogue, change your images, change it working in a job that you hate, stop the negative automatic thoughts, and that all changes. So it's a choice. Now, I'm not saying that this is necessarily easy to do, because if you don't know how to do something, you don't know how to do it. That's fine. But I'm saying it's a choice. You have a choice. Let's look at personal development. So this is the thing. It's personal development. Do you do personal development every single day? 30 minutes at least? On something that's going to build your skills or give you some knowledge to help you get out of the situation in a way that's practical and pragmatic? Does that happen? Do you do that every day? Do you listen to someone who's been where you are and has got to stardom? Do you read any autobiographies? Do you do any of that? It's a choice. If you don't listen, one of the things I always say is you either progress or you depress. So if you're not doing the personal development, then you're going that way. There's no staying still. You go that way or that way, and that's it. So what are you doing? That is a choice. Personal development is a choice. Learning skills so that you can break pattern, negative automatic thoughts, so you do not do that anymore, and then you create a positive automatic thought instead. Yeah, there's a way to do that. But at this moment in time, if you're saying I'm not in control, it's like you don't know how to do that. That's what you're really saying. But that's the difference between having a choice. It just means you're not exercising the choice, or you haven't created the choice yet. But it's a choice. So all of that there, they're choices that you make, and that's going to affect whether you're going to have depression or not. Yeah. So all of that there. And the other thing as well, depression, sadness. So that's not on there, but like sadness. But people get sad. Yeah, people get all types of emotions. I get sad sometimes, I get angry sometimes, whatever. I'm human, you're human. So therefore, it happens to all of us. That's fine. Yeah. But holding the emotion there and keeping it in our body, is that a choice? It's a choice. It is a choice. But again, it's, do you know how to do it? You have the neurology of being really happy, empowered, amazing. You have all of that. You're capable of doing that. That's what you're capable of. I expect a lot from you. I expect a lot from people when I see them. I'll tell them, if I don't think their goals are high enough, I'll tell them. Because I expect you to do a lot. I think you're brilliant. I think everybody's brilliant when they right state. But right now, is it a choice if you're holding on to emotion? It's a choice. And that's the thing. Depression is not a choice. It is if you break it down this way. Because depression is behaviour. It's a behaviour. If you think it's a thing, then you are putting yourself into a box which you can't get out of. But when you switch it as behaviour, as something that you're doing and keeping doing with these behaviours here, then it's changeable. You can get out of this. But whilst you're sitting there going, I have no choice, then if you have no choice to be where you are now, then you have no choice to get out of where you are now to another life where you are going to be brilliant. You're going to be successful. You're going to be happy. You're going to be loved. You're going to be great. So that's what's holding you back. So this isn't something for me to attack people. I don't want to attack people at that, but it needs to be said because you are stopping your progress. You're stopping it there and then. It needs to be, you need to change this around. This is your belief. You're believing you don't have a choice. And if you believe that you don't have a choice, then you're not going to do anything. You're going to wait for some magical thing to happen. I mean, you might have an antidepressants. I mean, how well do they work? I mean, a load of people are having antidepressants and anxiety tablets and they've still got depression and anxiety. But they can just cope a little bit more. More of a coping strategies. Yeah. And essentially, that's just keeping you prolonged in that state where you don't want to be. So your beliefs, if you're saying you don't have a choice, then your beliefs have got in the way. They're limiting. They're stopping you from progressing. They're stopping you from getting out of this box. Because that's essentially what you're in. You're stuck there, and it's about thinking outside of that box. Yeah. So instead of saying what's the problem, it's what's not the problem. And that's what you need to be looking at. So depression is not a choice. You make up your mind still. If you want to be held back, it's up to you. Good luck. But hopefully those who get this can change it around. Take back your control, take back your power, and you'll feel, yes, you'll feel bad for a little bit, but everything will be your choice. Now, so you've enjoyed that video. So you've seen me break things down. I've broken things down in such a way that you can see that you're in control of this, especially with things like the physical activity, because like the former chief executive of the Medical Association has basically said that if physical activity, or the effects from physical activity were put into a drug form and given to people, it'd be hailed as a miracle cure. Yeah, that's how powerful some of this stuff is. Yeah, so you have to get rid of this piece of crap right here out of your head, because as long as that stays in your head, then you're playing a game. You're playing a game with yourself. Yeah, and all that's going to happen, you have a pill and you still do the same behaviours that got you to there in the first place. And what you're doing essentially is training your brain to accept mediocrity. So you're saying, I feel bad now, let me have a pill. Right, now I feel a bit better about feeling bad. And you keep then doing the same behaviours. It honestly angers me sometimes when I hear stories of this. Yeah, give people a pill and just, yeah, here's a pill, just get out of my office. It really, really angers me. And that's why I do the Mind Body Project, to stop this stupidness from happening. Yeah, it needs to change. We need to change because our system that we have at the moment, especially for depression and anxiety and phobias, is shocking. Yeah, let me tell you something about this. We have enough resources for mental health, get this, for 13.7%. So it's 1 in 6 of the population. So we've got enough resources to pay for about 13.7%. Yeah. Now, of the 13.7%, they have to wait 6 to 8 weeks. So you may have already gone through this. You have to wait 6 to 8 weeks to get your first appointment. Then you get your first appointment. Yeah. Now, from then you've got about 6 months, because the waiting queue is too big, and that's all they will allow you to have. So after this 6 months, yeah, of the 13% of the population, only 50%, well, in fact, it's less than 50%. 50% is the target. Less than 50% of people will get to an acceptable level of recovery, is what they call it. Yeah, an acceptable level. So that's less than 50%. Now, of those 50% that got to the acceptable level, yes, half of those relapse within 1 year. So really and truly, only a fraction of people are going to get help with this system. So in other words, they're getting poor results because they still believe in things like this. It doesn't work that well. They don't understand that you have to change your thinking so you are empowered. Proper empowerment. They think empowerment, hey, you can choose which service you have. Well, that's great, but you want to give people real empowerment and real confidence and real self-esteem and give them the power back. But because they don't know how to do it, and this is the other thing, the icing on the cake is those care workers that are helping you, yeah, those care workers that are helping you, up to 85% of them need help for anxiety and depression once they've helped you. That's why psychologists have to have supervision themselves. It's a mess. Yeah, because people don't understand what they're really doing. Yeah. Me on the other hand, because I used to do that, I used to do all that way. I used to think it was really good and cool until things weren't changing, our client wasn't changing, or they're relapsing all the time because they've got relapse built into this behavioural change theoretical model, which is, oh God, don't get me started on that. But then I realised, hang on a minute, why are like NLP are fighting with these people, psychologists are fighting with these guys, CBT people are fighting with them. I was like, listen, let me find out what actually works. Let me find out what works and why it works. 12 years later, I've realised there's patterns. Yeah, there's certain people out there, certain amazing people who can get results very, very quickly. Why? Because they understand that you have to be in control. You have to be responsible for the change, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. So let's talk about the formula for happiness. Yeah, because you know where you are now. You know that you're not in control. You're not in control. Yeah, let's look at it that way. So the formula for happiness is your life conditions, i.e. your life at the moment, how your day-to-day living, your life conditions meet the expectations of your blueprint. So how you think life should be. Yeah, so the question is, what's life about? What's life about for you? So that question. Now, what's your life conditions now? Do they meet the same? And it's probably going to be no. If you're depression or anxiety, it's probably going to be no. So, formula for unhappiness is exactly that. So your life conditions do not meet. They do not meet what you have as your mindset. So life conditions do not meet what you think life should be about. And suffering is where life conditions do not meet what you think life should be about, plus you don't have control, or you believe that you don't have control over this. That's where suffering comes in. So a person who comes up and says this, depression is not a choice, it's an illness. If you don't have control, now that you can get this from, look at Anthony Robbins' 6 Needs, or creating lasting change. But if someone says, if you believe that you do not have control, then not only are you going to be unhappy, you're actually going to suffer as well. That's the formula for unhappiness and suffering. Yeah, so you actually, it may seem like a short way out of this, a short way out of it. It's an easy thing to just say, hey, it's not my fault, it's their fault. And this is sort of built in with our culture. It's a blame culture. Yeah, everyone's sort of like, hey, I'm saving all my emails just in case I need to prove something. It's always blame, 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 because everyone wants to sue. So that's the reason why it's sort of in our mentality to blame something else or blame someone else. But unfortunately, it causes this sort of mentality around illnesses, and therefore it causes suffering. And that's why it's 1 in 6 people, and that's in a given year, and that's in England, are actually having experiences of anxiety, depression, or phobias. So let's look at the cause and effect. So cause side, and it's going to be, so these are your results that you're going to be getting in life. So cause and effect. So the two sides, let's split it up. Now, if I say depression is not a choice, it's an illness, I'm putting myself on the effect side. So the question is, who's driving the bus in your life? Who's driving the bus? Are you the passenger going down streets that you don't want to go down, to destinations where you don't want to go? Yeah, the effect side. Or are you in charge? Are you the driver of the bus? You deciding or dictating where you want to go? So which one are you doing now? Now, when we say cause, there's no like, well, I'm 50% cause, I'm 50% effect. No. You're either 100% or you're effect. Now, the other thing about all these people who are brilliant at and getting amazing results, there's a scale: excellence and dysfunction. Yeah. So those people who are at this end, yeah, dysfunction here, those people, if you're there, then this is where you are. You're on the effect side of the equation. Yeah, you're on there. Now, for those who are performing excellently, they're going to be on the cause side of the equation. So if you look at it this way, if you think about it this way, especially those who are very efficient at thinking and want shortcuts, if you put yourself there, then things are going to change a lot quicker for you. If you put yourself on the cause side of the equation, hey, right, this happened, right, okay, I don't like where I am, I don't like who I am and what I'm doing at the moment, but I'm done with it. From this day forward, let's make some different decisions. If you do that, then the next thing, this helps people change so quickly. It done it for me very quickly. As soon as I heard this, wow, game changer. But whilst you're sitting there going, hey, no, Aldi, I've heard what you said, but honestly, it is not my fault why I'm here. The doctor said this, I've had this issue, this happened in my life, so therefore I'm on the effects. That's fine, you can say that. That's up to you. Yeah, but your results are going to suffer. That's just the laws again. That's the laws. You can say that. It's fine. It's your choice. It's not me trying to have a go. I'm just trying to help here, and I'm trying to point out that when you're on this side, then you can all of a sudden make decisions. You can make decisions to stop doing stupid stuff or making bad decisions. You can make choices that because now you're in control. You can sort out your life. Whilst you're here, then things happen to you. Yeah, things happen to you. And think about it this way. If you're, imagine you're good, because maybe you're young at the moment, maybe you're young and you're thinking about this, looking at this at the moment, you've got just things happening in your life. I can accept that, listen, life throws things at you. So things happen in your life. Yeah, things happen, and sometimes it's bad. Bad happen things to me, and all that as well. And you need maybe a few days or a few weeks even to actually get yourself sorted. It's an appropriate response. Yeah, you've got to give yourself time to actually get over things or adjust things or do whatever. But if you are going through life and on the effect side of the equation, and you're sitting there and you're saying, hey, I could have done this, but, and then you start naming things, but it was not my fault because of this person done something to me, that person done something to me, the government done something to me, the teacher done something to me, my colleague done something to me, my business partner, my wife. If you're saying that, the fact of the matter is, when you get to age 85 and you look back at your life, you are gonna you're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it. So that is the thing. You've got to think about it. If you're not making the decisions now and you don't have a very satisfactory life, it's because of the choices that you made. There's people who've been in far worse situations than you and have turned it around so that they're performing excellently. So at that end of the scale. So you have the opportunity to do that. But whilst it's not your choice, then you are not empowered. You're disempowered. You're giving away your power to something or somebody else. You're giving it out there. And whilst it's out there, then you're going to suffer and you're going to be unhappy. So that's the choices you have to make. So you can keep deciding, yes, listen, I've heard what you said, But no, I'd rather say this did happen to me. And people get angry about it. I've heard some clients, like, because when I first tell people, some clients this, they get really angry with me and say, Eldin, it isn't my fault. And I said, listen, I'm not saying whose fault it is or whatever, things happen in life or whatever, but I'm just telling you the results you're going to get. If you're going to give your power to something else or somebody else, then you're going to be on the effect side of the equation, and then things happen to you. And the other thing is as well, whilst you're on that side of the equation, law of attraction, you feel bad. So you feel bad, you attract more bad into your life as well. So that is, and as I said, people get angry with this. People say, Eldin, it's not my fault. And you might be sitting there adamant it's not your fault, it's not your responsibility. Doctor said this, somebody said that, psychologist said this. That's fine. But I'm telling you now, you haven't tried this yet. Yeah. Treat everything I say as unverified rumour. Until you've tested it on your own body, you do not know. You just don't know. But if you're one of these people who has to look up theories and look up stats and things, rather than trying things out, testing it for a week and see what happens, then you ain't going to get anywhere. And I used to be one of those people. I used to be one of those people who used to just say, hey, it's not got any scientific evidence, so it doesn't exist. Ha! I used to be like that, man. I used to be exactly like that until I realised that, hey, alright, so you know all the scientific stuff on this, well, show me how to do it. And I didn't know. I just know the theories. And that just threw me. I was like, damn it, I can't go through life like this. This is stupid. I didn't even know how to do it. There's no point in knowing the theories if you don't practically know how to do something. So it doesn't really matter if the theories aren't there. If I'm telling you, here's a step, take this step, take this step, take this step, try it, because the things that I give you usually don't take more than a few hours to do, or even half an hour to do. So it's just a matter of testing everything I say to make sure it works. What can you lose? Yeah, you can either keep doing what you're doing and always getting what you've got, or you can change it. Yeah, it's up to you. But that is empowerment. You need to make a decision. If you want to make a decision, if it's not up to you, then that's fine. This empowerment. But so hopefully, I've explained myself a bit more, and hopefully you've actually understood that you putting yourself in a position where you're on the effect side of the equation means unsatisfactory life. And that's what it means. It means giving up your power, and giving up your power to something or somebody else. And that's what disempowerment means. And if you go on the core side of the equation, where you say, hey, alright, I've made these decisions unconsciously because I didn't consciously mean to do it. It was an unconscious choice. Yeah. Unconscious or conscious, because that's the total sum of where we are now. But yeah, it's unconscious. I didn't mean to do it, but I'm done with it. Let me get rid of the emotions, negative emotions. Let's move forward. Let's make better decisions. Let's stop making these decisions so I can go forwards. Let's do it now, because I don't want to wait till 85, look back at my life and go, damn it. Yeah, but it's up to you. So thank you very much for listening. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Do you still disagree with me? Have you tested it on your own body? Have you tried it out for a week? And here's a challenge for you. Try it out for a week. See how you get on. And let me know. But thank you very much for listening to me, and I'll see you again soon.